The displacement of a body along x-axis depends on time as root x is equal to t plus 1, then the velocity of the body is c. All these questions are based on JE exams or either state level entrance exam. I think I have taken up only a couple of questions from state level entrance exam. All the other questions are directly from JE mains and not from JE advanced. So those students who are here for the first time, if you directly start visiting the topic, I would say it would harm your confidence level, because we have discussed many topics, many numericals which have a relatively low, I would say, demand of the subject, right? So these questions, they are at a I would say definitely at a concept level, but even at a higher conceptual level, wherein you need to understand the theoretical concepts very clearly, and only then you'll be able to apply those concepts in these questions. Unlike questions in the NEET, which also require conceptual understanding, but not at this depth. Um, well, of course, not all the questions, but generally, I would say generally, any random question selected at any question from JE means selected at random would be at a more conceptual depth than that of the NEET exam. So please, I would repeatedly tell this to students: do not start attempting the previous year questions directly, because it may harm your confidence level. It will bring you down, because since you don't have enough practice on the basic level of questions, going directly into the higher level of questions won't fetch you any good. So please make sure you go through the previous numericals, try to solve them, and as usual, I say practice 100 questions from the chapter. Then you can move on to previous year questions. That would be enough to get you a good, to get you a minimum amount of confidence to appear for exam. Okay, so having said so, let's now move on to the solution now. So what's given here is root x is equal to t plus 1. So if you differentiate the equation, what you get is 1 by 2 root x dx is equal to dt, or dx by dt is equal to 2 root x. We can say that dx by dt is equal to, what is root x from the question? Root x from the question is t plus 1. Now, what is dx by dt? Dx by dt is velocity, which is equal to 2 into t plus 1. So before we discuss the options, let me tell you one more thing. See, the same question can be, many a time students ask me this question: should we be squaring all the time? That's not required. You can do the question otherwise also. But let me solve the other way around. See, if this is question number one, I mean equation number one, and if you square this on both sides, right? So squaring on both sides, what does it becomes? It becomes root x the whole square is equal to t plus 1 the whole square. Now what is root x the whole square? X. What is t plus 1 the whole square? Yes, t square plus 2t plus 1. I do understand, but we are not going to expand this. We're just keeping it as t plus 1 the whole square. Now what we'll do is we'll differentiate on both sides. So now we'll take dx by dt and dx by dt here. So what do you get? dx by dt is now velocity. And what is d by dt of t plus 1 the whole square? It is 2 into t plus 1 into d by dt of t plus 1. So this gives us v is equal to 2 into t plus 1 again, right? So you can do it either ways, it doesn't matter, you get the same answer. Now, coming to the options. See, what we need to understand is v, let's say, what we have derived is that v is equal to 2 into t plus 1 is what we have derived, right? Now, if you try to understand this in the conceptual way, we can say that okay, let's take this. V is equal to 2t plus 2, right? So basically, we can say that v is proportional to 2t right? Now t is a constant, sorry, 2 is a constant, therefore v is proportional to t. Now if v is proportional to t, what does this implies? It implies that as the value of v increases, or the other way around, as the value of t increases, v also increases. As the value of t decreases, v also decreases. So if A is proportional to B, it simply means that any increase in A is associated with the increase in B. And if A is inversely proportional to B, if A is inversely proportional to B, it means that any decrease in B results in an increasing A, and any increasing B results in a results in a decreasing A. Okay, so keep this in mind. I'll repeat it once again. If A is proportional to B, it means that if B increases, A also increases. If A is proportional to 1 by B, or if A is inversely proportional to B, it means that the value of, if the value of B decreases, A increases. So we can say that velocity increases with time, which means the correct option is option A.